Hey, it's Cassie from Curry Honda in Chicopee. You're listening to the Bax and Nagle podcast on Rock 102. Come see us at Curry Honda for the best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. Experience the best at Curry Honda. Thanks for listening.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 5:50 in Toto with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Mix of sun and clouds today, but hot and humid again with a high of 91. It is 63 right now in downtown Springfield.
Let's see here. Hollywood Trash is brought to you by Western Mass Masons. Call them for all your foundation and chimney needs.
Somehow you still care about what's happening in Hollywood. So from Tinseltown, 3,000 miles away, it's Steve Nagle's Hollywood Trash.
Pamela Anderson. Remember her?
I do.
If you're a pickle aficionado who can spend hours pursuing every jar at the grocery store, here's some sexy news for you. Pam Anderson is now selling her own artisanal, how do you say? Artisanal pickles for $38 a jar.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's just the price she chose. We didn't, slap a tariff on blonde bombshells. You know what I'm saying?
I know. Just the idea of her and pickles.
Pamela's Pickles are available online at flamingoestate.com for a limited time. There are only a few hundred jars available, so if you want one, you gotta act fast. The recipe was inspired by the one that was passed down to her by her great Aunt V. It features rose, dill, mustard, and garlic, and they're hot and vegan like Pamela.
Yeah.
And 100% of the proceeds will benefit the California Wildfire Center.
Well, that sounds terrific.
Pamela says, quote, "My sons and I are so proud to share our mutual love of condiments, especially pickles, with you." She said that her family used to do a lot of pickling when she was a kid. Mm-hmm. You know, she did that on a video I saw on her on a honeymoon. She was pickling then, too.
She was gobbling up that pickle.
That wasn't a gherkin.
No, that was a full down, giant pickle in a barrel. That was.
It was like the Homewrecker hot dog over at Autumn Mist Farm.
Very much the case.
Well, she used to do a lot of pickling when they were growing up in Vancouver Island in Canada. She has a home there now, which includes a vegetable farm. So good for her.
That's great.
I guess she was getting pretty flirty with Liam Neeson.
I'm telling you. The two of them are dating and such.
Well, hey, might as well at their ages.
Well, I mean, they're not that old. I mean, she's probably, how old is she? About my age? Ish.
How old is Pam Anderson? Pam Anderson age. Let's see. 58.
All right, yeah, so she's about the same age.
She looks a little bit older than that.
Well, I mean, she's not wearing as much makeup. If she put on the makeup, you say, wow, she looks so young. This is how people look.
It's hard to believe, but it's been 20 years since Jennifer Aniston, Brad Pitt, and Angelina Jolie were on every tabloid cover. In a new interview, Jennifer calls that era of her tabloid life the love triangle and adds, "It was such juicy reading for people. If they didn't have their soap operas, they had their tabloids." She doesn't elaborate on that difficult time other than to say, "It's a shame that it had to happen, but it happened. And boy, did I take it personally. We're human beings, even though some people don't want to believe we are. They think you signed up for it, so you take it. But we really didn't sign up for that." She said she got through it by being resilient. Quote, "Just pick yourself up by the bootstraps and keep on walking, girl." There were two other notable things in the interview. Jennifer said she's glad that Matthew Perry is out of that pain after a long struggle with addiction. She said, "We did everything we could, but it almost felt like we'd been mourning Matthew for a long time because his battle with that disease was really a hard one for him to fight. As hard as it was for all of us and for the fans, there's a part of me that thinks this is better." Well, right, because now you get the residuals that he doesn't get from the...
And there's nothing wrong with that.
And Jennifer is really into men's hands. She even has a pair of men's hands sculpted in bronze on either side of her fireplace.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Now her fireplace, that means her actual fireplace, right? Okay.
Yeah. She says, when people are like, "Are you a butt man or a leg girl?" I like hands. Hands are everything. My dad had the most beautiful hands.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's kind of weird.
It's
That's kind of a weird thing to say.
That's creepy.
Well, I mean, to add your dad, you're like, hands really turned me on.
Just like my dad had great hands.
Yeah, that was like the time I went out with that girl and I was wearing Old Spice. And she's like, "You smell like my dad." That was the end of the date.
Yeah. I'm taking you home now.
I'm sorry. I'm leaving. I'm only 19.
I mean, you want to get yourself out of a date.
Yeah.
Bring up dad.
That's right. Tim Burton went back to his stop-motion animation roots for a 90-second sequence in the first episode of Wednesday, Season 2. For those unfamiliar with that animation style, it's a very time-consuming process. It requires hand-built sets and puppets that are manipulated frame by frame. So any guesses how long it took to complete?
3 days.
8 months.
I was close.
Tim brought on the team who worked on Corpse Bride to bring his idea to life. The scene shows a student of the Nevermore Academy who creates a clockwork heart to replace his own. Tim says, quote, "I loved it. This is the kind of show where we get to play around with things, and that was special to me. In fact, kind of went old school with it, and I ended up designing the puppet. I remember doing Vincent, and we tried to go back to the first thing we did. I kept having to tell all the animators, we need to pretend like I'm back in my student days and do it like I did at the beginning of my career." That Nightmare Before Christmas looks like,
I mean, it's all
CGI. Isn't it CGI or claymation or whatever it was?
It's that stopgap photography thing.
I don't know.
It's a lot of work. For what kind of result?
No result.
Who's watching that movie anymore?
Nobody.
Actually, a lot of people are. It's paid itself back.
The rumors were true. Taylor Swift is the very special guest for Travis and Jason Kelce's New Heights podcast tomorrow. Swiftie started buzzing about Taylor being on for several reasons. In the podcast announcement, there was a silhouette that looked like Taylor, and Jason was wearing an Eras Tour shirt. Oh, and tomorrow happens to be the 13th, and of course, 13 is Taylor's lucky number.
Right.
The news was confirmed late last night. They posted a brief clip showing Taylor and Travis complimenting each other, and Taylor saying, "We're about to do an effing podcast."
Steve, I don't think there's ever been a story you've done in Hollywood Trash in the last 15 years that have been more exciting than this one right now.
I haven't even finished.
Oh, there's more?
They didn't even initially reveal what they'll be talking about, but she's announcing her 12th album since Taylor's website just unveiled a pre-order for an album called The Life of a Showgirl. The episode premieres tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. How much you want to bet that she's pregnant?
Well, don't look at me.
No, it's going to be Kelsey's.
That would be a pip. Can you imagine being that little spawn?
I know. Well, it's kind of like, with Tom Brady, you never hear about his kids. I think he forgot about that one he had with this girl over here. You never hear about him.
No, you see him in you see those Brady kids every now and then.
You go to career day. Yeah, with Tom Brady.
So what's your dad do? Yeah, he's a broadcaster now.
He's got his own statue outside of it. Looks like somebody molded his face.
Yeah. Whereas if we go to career day, what's your dad do? He got his name on a bathroom.
Well, hey, that's something. It's baby steps, Bax. One day you'll have a statue.
Wow, that would be...
Or a bobblehead.
I already had one.
Yeah, well, there you go. Life mission's complete. Hey, by the way, Kim Kardashian is reportedly in talks to star in and co-direct a Netflix cooking competition series where celebrity chefs recreate iconic prison meals. Fans worry she's stretching herself too thin.
Really?
Yeah.
She must have something to say.
Oh, my God. The last time I stretched myself too thin was when Ray J tried to fit his kielbasa through the ravioli ragu in that sex tape you can purchase on YouPorn for $39.95.
That's a tighter squeeze than it sounds. Caitlin?
Never got that down and dirty with your mother, Chris Kim, but I once tossed the salad, garnished her garden with a little balsamic drizzle. 2 L's.
Sure.
Served her up a few hot buttered corn dogs, deep fried in the oil of forbidden desire.
What are you trying to say?
What I'm trying to say is I plumbed her undercarriage harder than a drunk maintenance guy fixing a urinal at a Buffalo Wild Wings during half-price boneless night. It reminded me of that charity event at SeaWorld, Touch Tank, where Bob Costas bet me he could make the dolphins blush using nothing but a peeled cucumber and a jar of Miracle Whip. Needless to say, I lost $50 and the Dolphins lost their dignity and Bob lost his security clearance. And that is your Hollywood. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
And
really.
that is your Hollywood trash on Rock 102. Ugh.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch, brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, your grilling destination. Weber, Big Green Egg, Uni Pizza Ovens, and Traeger Wood-Fired Grills.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, it is my deepest hope that when and if the WNBA's Connecticut Sun peels itself away from the comforting arms of the breathtaking landscapes of Uncasville and transports themselves to the inviting confines of the city of Boston, that we, as sports fans, heed this advice. No matter how deeply you feel enticed to do so, no matter how much fun it may seem, no matter how hilarious you might perceive it to be, can we all, please, refrain from throwing dildos onto the court? I know it's tempting, since just about everybody else is doing it, but I believe these things have gotten out of hand, and frankly, it's stupid. Yesterday, police in New York asked for help in identifying a young man who they believe is responsible for throwing a sex toy during a game between the WNBA's New York Liberty and the Dallas Wings on Friday night. During yesterday's press conference, the police produced a picture of the suspect. In this picture, the man is clearly seen wearing a Beavis and Butthead t-shirt and an Ohio State Buckeyes baseball cap on his head. This young man is accused of attempting to hurl this rubber protuberance towards the court. However, due to his lack of arm strength and accuracy, the dildo failed to reach the court. That means two things. Instead, the sex toy landed on a 12-year-old girl who was sitting in the stands. A 12-year-old girl who, by the way, had much better seats until she was hit in the leg with this airborne projectile. Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying, figures, an Ohio State fan. I mean, a Beavis and Butthead t-shirt I can understand, but the Buckeyes, that's practically a dead giveaway. Either way, I hope they catch this rat bastard just like they did in Atlanta, Phoenix, Chicago, and Los Angeles. This is why I say that when the Sun comes to Boston, let's try to do things a little differently by leaving our sex toys at home where they belong. I'd much rather hurl insults and ridicule than a $50 sex toy. At least the insults are free. And it's something that we, as Boston sports fans, already do and do it very well. But waste a perfectly good dildo? That's not how I was brought up. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Hey, you need a garden hose, pruners, or fertilizer? Rocky's has almost everything a garden center has. Spreaders and sprayers and wheelbarrows and weed killers. Yeah, it's a hardware store, but sometimes Rocky is also a garden center too. And you'll find it at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 6:14 and free with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It's going to be another hot one today with highs of 91. And tomorrow, some thunderstorms with a high of 89. It is 63 right now in downtown Springfield.
Let's see, a round of Am I the A-Hole coming up maybe next hour. And we got some other things to talk about today, too.
I appreciate when my kids, put their minds to something. And, they're if they want something, they're really determined. And then they give me a list of all these things, reasons why we should have this or that. My oldest gave me it wasn't a contract. It was a testimonial of why we need a cat in our house.
Right.
And also several letters from classmates at school advocating for her on her behalf. Writing.
I didn't know about this. I knew about the contract, but she actually made kids from school write letters to you?
She had a couple of her friends write the letters of recommendation for the cat. It was very thought out, and it's one of these things where we're probably gonna get a cat. I just don't know when yet. I'm still kind of grappling with the idea, even though I'm gonna cave, like Jesus, on that Friday.
Well, I mean, honestly, Steve, you're at the point now where all all these kids ever have to do to change your mind on something is wage a letter campaign.
Well, I mean, it's actually, I give them a lot of credit because it's not like they're just saying, "Can I get this?" and not just annoyingly bugging me the same question over and over again.
Do you feel the tire tracks in your back when these things are happening?
Yeah, I actually do. And, we went through this cat thing last year where I realized you could use dry erase marker on the front of the stainless steel of the dishwasher. Because my point was, how are you going to take care of a cat if you can't even empty the dishwasher? It's
a good point.
That was a thing. And then there was notes going back and forth and, that kind of thing. And then there's cat pictures being painted. There's drawings, things like that.
Have you sent them pictures of a full cat box?
No, I have not.
Or like a cat choking up a hairball?
Yeah, see, I wish I had taken a picture years ago, but, before the cell phone thing became a, thing. I had a roommate who had a cat that never cleaned the box.
Yeah.
Making me the one to clean the box, which I kind of... It's almost like I was foreshadowing my life 20 years ago.
Sure, and here you are. History has repeated itself.
And it's like, no, this time it'll be different, So anyway, the argument was made for the cat, and, there's probably going to be a cat sometime in my future. But, yesterday I get this a video, and I'm not going to play the video because it's got somebody else's kid in it too, but it was my youngest trying to convince me. I just showed you what it was. my youngest trying to convince me why, when she turns 14, which will be in a few months from now, that she should get a nose ring. And she did lay out the points in the video of why she would be, eligible to.
It depends on whether you think these are justifiable reasons. I mean, she said, her grades were good.
Yeah.
She didn't get any trouble or scuffles or anything like that.
Right. And she showed two examples of what could be.
Yeah.
And it was like a guy with all the stuff coming out of his face, the studs and the what do they call the
gauges and stuff?
Gauges and things like that.
Yeah.
And then she says, or it could be this, and it was like this tiny little diamond, nose thing, which is, not that bad. But I don't know. I don't know how convincing that was. I don't know if I'm.
I gotta give her an A for effort because she not only had like visual aids.
Yeah, she did some research.
Her friend was backing her up as a character witness,
right?
Which I thought was a pretty bold and profound statement of absolute desperation.
Yeah. It was very well done, I thought. I don't know how convincing it is.
One of the things she said that I thought was interesting, if at 14 she's old enough to have a job, then at 14 she should be old enough to put a nose ring in her face.
How many years have them kids been making that argument? If I'm old enough to go fight in a war and vote, I should be able to drink a beer.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
Except that's not what the law says.
Yeah, well, but I mean, but the law also says you need a parent's permission in order to go to a piercing place to get this thing done.
Sure.
And you want to go to a reputable place. It's not like I don't know if I'd go to the Piercing Pagoda for something like that.
Well, Claire's just filed bankruptcy, so you might want to step up the game.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to go to the clearance, the liquidation piercing sale.
Like
at
everything
Claire's.
must go. Yeah,
yeah.
Sure.
You want to go to a professional, and there's plenty of professionals around that specialize in that kind of thing. I'm not really too concerned about that.
I don't know where you stand. I know, when my kids, because my kids asked for the same thing. They wanted their ears pierced, and then they wanted second piercings, and they said, well, how about my nose? And then they talked about tattoos, and my feeling was, hey, listen, at 18, you're an adult. You can do whatever you want. I just would strongly recommend not doing your face. Like tattooing your face. But that's, again, that is your choice, and I won't stand in your way. But prior to that, I think you want to be mature enough to make decisions that you can live with for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
The piercing, however, can close up. You take it out, you never put it back in.
I'm kind of I have free range children.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
yeah.
They kind of just do.
Organic, though.
Organic. And
Yeah.
I kind of let them, figure things out for
They're very
themselves.
farm to table, those kids.
Well, they know what they're doing. They certainly know. And they know how to build a case. I mean, that was a pretty, I thought in that
was
video,
compelling.
it was a pretty compelling. I don't know if I'd say convincing, but compelling. You're right. That's a better adjective for it. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I mean, I don't want to give up all of my control. As soon as they get old. Remember that day they turned 13 and then all of a sudden the doctor's office tells you, hey, by the way, you can't see all this stuff anymore. That was like the first milestone of them getting their privacy.
Yeah, no.
And then you can't get involved as much as you can anymore. So you got to hold on to these decisions.
Oh, then they run roughshod all over you.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if I'd.
Well, have you thought about doing some reverse psychology?
What, like if I do something?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about I'll let you get a nose ring if I can get a tramp stamp that says "World's Best Dad" on it. And then we'll go to the beach.
Yeah.
And you can show off your nose ring, and I can show off my brand new tattoo.
You know what? I'll sit there and do a video with you and tell you all the reasons why they should allow you to get that tramp stamp.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Oh, that'll be very
that'll
convincing.
be fun. Sure. We can all go out and have family time on the beach and show off our new dressings.
We're the Body Mod family.
Yeah.
That's what we're doing. We're modifying our bodies.
So I'll be contemplating this. I'll make a video about this a little bit later too.
It's 622 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock. It's 628 in Stone Temple Pilots with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Liam is back, and he's with a vengeance, and he will tell you the forecast.
Hey, the wing thing is coming up this Saturday at the Big E. I'm looking forward to it. I'm going to be packing down more wings than anybody. I will be. You know what? We should actually do a contest where people actually chuck wings into my mouth to see if I can catch them.
No.
I want to try that.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
For a prize?
Remember that weird guy we had a picture of up on the wall that had wing sauce all over his face from the wing eating contest we had years ago?
Yeah.
You don't want to look like that.
No, I don't actually.
Yeah.
But I will say that was the least of that guy's problems.
Did you see this on the Route 10 Tire listener line
Which one?
about the nose ring that I should allow my kid to get?
I haven't seen it yet.
They're nose rings that are shaped like pimples, so they look like pimples, and you should tell her you should get this one. Big giant zit right on your lip, right on your nose.
That's a great
I
idea.
think that's a good idea.
You can get it, but this is the one you got to wear.
That's right. Do you ready to laugh? All right, let's laugh.
It's Bax and Nagle's Joke of the Day
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown. I amuse you.
on Rock 102,
I make you laugh.
Springfield's classic rock.
A man is having a bad day. He's in trouble at work and with his wife, so he decides to go to the pub and have a pint. This must be like English or something.
Probably.
As he's sitting there drinking, he sees this little frog come in, and the frog goes across the floor, up the chair, across the chair, down the chair, across the floor, up the table, across the table, down the table, across the floor, up the wall, across the ceiling, and out the skylight. And the guy thinks, that's odd. And then he finishes the pint and he leaves. The next day, he's on his final warning at work, and his missus spent an hour screaming at him. So, of course, he goes back and now he has 2 pints, right?
Right.
And as he's drinking, he sees the little frog come in, and the frog goes across the floor, up the chair, across the chair, down the chair, across the floor, up the table, across the table, down the table, across the floor, up the wall, across the ceiling, and out the skylight. And the guy goes, well, that's odd. Then he finishes his drink, and he goes home, right?
Yeah.
So the next day, he's been fired from the job. The missus has taken the kids, and she's going to stay at her mother's. So the guy goes and has 3 pints at the pub. And as he's drinking, he sees this little frog come in, and the frog goes across the floor, up the chair, across the chair, down the chair, across the floor, up the table, across the table, down the table, across the floor, up the wall, across the ceiling. But today stops at the skylight and goes across the ceiling, down the wall, across the floor, up the table, across the table, down the table, across the floor, up the chair, across the chair, down the chair, across the floor, and out the door. And the man goes, I got to find out what this is all about, right?
Okay.
So he goes up to the bartender and he says, excuse me, mate, This is like English.
Yeah, it's from out of town.
I came in here the other day, and as I'm drinking, I see this frog, and it goes across the floor, up the chair, across the chair, down the chair, across the floor, up the table, across the table, down the table, across the floor, up the wall, across the ceiling, and out the skylight. Then yesterday, I'm in here drinking, and I see the same frog, and it goes across the floor, up the chair, across the chair, down the chair, across the floor, up the table, across the table, down the table, across the floor, up the wall, across the ceiling, and out the skylight. But today, as I'm drinking, I see this frog, and it goes across the floor, up the chair, down the chair, across the floor, up the table, across the chair, across the table, down the table, across the floor, up the wall, across the ceiling. But this time it stops at the skylight and then goes across the ceiling, down the wall, across the floor, up the table, across the table, down the table, across the floor, up the chair, across the chair, down the chair, across the floor, and out the door. And the bartender looks at him and says, "So you're telling me you came in here the other day, and as you were drinking, you see a frog that comes in, goes across the floor, up the chair, across the chair, down the chair, across the floor, up the table, across the table, down the table, across the floor, up the wall, and out the skylight. Then, as you're drinking, you see the frog come in and goes across the floor, up the chair, across the chair, down the chair, across the floor, up the table, across the table, down the table, across the floor, up the wall, across the ceiling, and out the skylight. But today, you come in for drinks, and as you're drinking, you see the frog, and the frog goes across the floor, up the chair, across the chair, down the chair, across the floor, up the table, across the table, down the table, across the floor, up the wall, across the ceiling, stops at the skylight, and then goes across the ceiling, down the wall, across the floor, up the table, across the floor, down the table, across the floor, up the chair, across the chair, down the chair, across the floor, and out the door." And the guy goes, "Yes, exactly." And the bartender says, "Oh, that's simple. I shut the skylight today." The frog couldn't go out the skylight because he shut the door. Wow, that was well worth it, wasn't it?
Totally worth the wait.
Bax and Nagle in the morning on Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
6:37. 6:37. Boy, that joke must have taken an awful long period of time. It's time for news. It's brought to you by Gary Rome Hyundai. Technicians get up to a $5,000 sign-in bonus right now. Learn more at GaryRomeHyundai.com/family. His local radio icon, Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bags. I just got to address something here because I got several texts about it. And then that guy with the golf tournament, that dude with the golf tournament.
Oh, yeah.
He's gonna be coming in here later today. He also mentioned it, too. That sports clip you played from Scott Cohen was yesterday's. So... Here's the most surprising piece about that.
Yes.
Is that people are still paying attention enough listening to Scott Cohen to realize he's making a mistake.
Right.
I thought it was just par for the course.
No. Let's. I will try fixing that if I can.
I mean, it's not accurate anyway, I'm sure.
No. But let's see what we can do here.
All right. Hey, the peak of hurricane season is a month away, and the tropics are starting to get active, especially in the Atlantic. August and September are known to be active when it comes to the hurricane season, and the peak of hurricane season is a month away, usually coming around September 12th. When it comes to tropical development, there are 3 areas to watch, one being in the Gulf of Mexico, the Caribbean, and the Atlantic Ocean. As of right now, there is an area of low pressure in the eastern Atlantic off the coast of Africa that is currently named Invest 97L. All right?
Uh-huh.
The National Hurricane Center is giving this area of low pressure 90% chance of turning into a tropical storm or a hurricane. This name would be Aaron if it officially becomes a tropical storm. While this is still very far away from any land in the United States, it's something that keeping an eye on. And, it's funny how I plan a vacation, maybe to a beach-like type place and realize that the 10-day forecast for the very location that I'm going to be traveling to
Right.
Could have a possibility of a hurricane.
It's strange because, that part of the country almost never gets hit with hurricanes.
Yeah, but usually never, I don't know. Like this, I guess this early, the season is here. I'm sure it's happened before, but it's never happened to me
Right.
Going on a vacation. So vacation may be cut a little short this year. Depending on...
Are you driving or flying?
I'm driving.
Yeah.
evacuation routes.
There's an area, and I know where you're going, and I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell everybody where you're going. But there's an area of that.
I'm going to Hampton Beach.
No, you're not. They're not going to get no. Of that area where they actually show like the water and flooding levels of certain hurricanes, and what you find is that it's very damaging.
Yes, it's very damaging
to travel itineraries. Like there's something about like evacuating a vacation destination, which really sucks the fun out of the family vacation.
Come on, kids. Who wants to go sit in traffic for 6 hours while we try to get out on the interstate?
Hey, half the fun is even getting there.
All right. Hope we got the roadside bingo.
Go on. I'm sending a quick text to our sports reporter.
Is it his fault or is it our fault for downloading the thing that we had yesterday?
No. It's labeled correctly.
Oh.
But are we sure the guy with the golf tournament knows what he's talking about?
It's not just the guy with the golf tournament.
Okay,
It's several other people. And I'm guessing that Scott Cohen was drinking too many martinis out of his arm tattoo this morning.
Yeah.
Is he just lift his wrist up and drink from the cup?
I don't know.
It says Cape Cod on it.
I don't know. All right, there you go. I've asked him to redo.
You know what? Going back to my argument about the nose ring thing, you should just show a picture of Scott Cohen's wrist, and I'm like, do you want eventually to look like a giant douche when you're, well into your 60s?
And while that may have been a tight tattoo when he got it. Yeah. If you get to that guy's age, all of a sudden it's going to start stretching, and the gravity's going to get to it, and all of a sudden that cocktail glass is going to look like you've had 15 of them.
Yes, which is, kind of looks like the face of Tom Brady on the statue outside of Patriot Place. A 4-alarm fire broke out at Chet's Scrap Metal in Springfield on Friday, sending a massive plume of smoke visible from miles away, including as far as South Hadley.
Wow.
The fire, which occurred around 6:30 p.m., prompted a swift response from the Springfield Fire Department, which managed to mostly put out the blaze by 10:30 p.m. The cause is still under investigation by the Arson and Bomb Squad. Serge Preve, the owner of Chet's Scrap Metal, expressed his gratitude towards the Springfield Fire Department for their quick response. Great honor and respect to our firefighters. They got the situation under control in a phenomenal short time. I mean, the size of the fire it was, and they did it without any injuries. The fire broke out, causing a significant amount of smoke. So basically, he's just thanking the fire department. But the headline is like, Springfield scrapyard owner speaks out following the 4-alarm fire. As if there's some sort of underlying thing going on.
Like a conspiracy?
Speaking out.
Scrap conspiracy?
I'm speaking out. Yes.
Taking a stand.
There was a fire here the other day. Yes.
And I've got a few things to say about it.
Uh-huh. The Chicopee State Park is temporarily prohibiting swimming at its beach due to cyanobacterial bloom. But they're lovely this time of year.
Oh, it's great. It's great. It's great swimming if you don't mind, say, I don't know, some sort of parasite entering your body.
Cyanobacteria, also known as blue-green algae, can naturally occur in all water bodies when the sayonara population dramatically increases. That is referred to as a bloom, which can pollute the water and be harmful to species to come in contact with it. The blooms discolor with water, making it look similar to pea soup and eventually cause public health issues. Ironically, if you go to a public pool, that is also considered pea soup, but in a different form.
Symptoms of blue-green algae exposure, skin irritation, gastrointestinal symptoms, including nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and abdominal pain, respiratory issues, including mild respiratory effect and hay fever-like symptoms, and neurological symptoms like headache, dizziness, and numbness. In severe cases, symptoms may include difficulty breathing and paralysis. Well, surf's up.
Yeah, let's go. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
2 infections for every boy.
You know, if you got a river that's full of human waste that people are swimming in here in Springfield, this is like a walk in the park for most people in Western Mass.
You and your cyanobacteria. Why don't you go over to the Connecticut River? You want some real tetanus fun.
Will Reichelt would go to a beach right now with his little swimmies around his arms. He'd just dive right in and just say, Mom, 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 look at me, Mom.
The mom doesn't care.
Mom doesn't really care.
Yeah, she's reading her romance novel on the beach of the shores of the Connecticut River.
Sipping cocktails through her Yeti.
Go ahead, little Willie. You can go ahead and go in the
go deeper.
Thing. Go ahead. Go deeper. No. I don't hear you anymore. Yeah, go play hide and seek in the water.
There we go.
Yeah, I don't know why we're suggesting that Will Reichelt's mother is this person that would be completely irresponsible to let him go swimming in something like that.
I'm sure she's a perfectly lovely woman. I've never met her.
She is. I've never met her either. Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be a mix of sun and clouds, hot, hazy, and humid with a high of 91. Tomorrow, thunderstorms with a high of 89. It is 63 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock. It's 6:54 and Quiet Riot with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Hot, hazy, and humid today with a high of 91. Tomorrow, thunderstorms with a high of 89. It is 63 right now in downtown Springfield.
Hey, we're throwing a big Rocktoberfest celebration on Sunday, September 21st at the Summit View in Holyoke, brought to you by Dave Miner Exterior Home Improvements and Aquapump. The early bird tickets that you can get at a discounted price are on sale right now at rock102.com. But right after August 18th, forget about it. You're paying full price, so you want to get them now. Admission includes traditional German foods like schnitzels, sauerbratens, pretzels, other things, along with live music from the Stillwater Band, plus big fat giant steins of German beer for sale. It's Rocktoberfest, brought to you by Dave Miner Exterior Home Improvements, Aquapump, September 21st at the Summit View on Route 5 in Holyoke with Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock.
Does it say who's making the food?
I think they are.
Okay.
I think.
All right.
No, it doesn't say who's making you and I are making the food.
I'm not. Well, I'm trying to think of that line where Kramer was cooking. He's cooking 5 different things.
That's right.
Yeah. So
and he had to have Frank Costanza help him.
Right.
Incheon, 1958.
I sent 7 of my men to the latrine that day.
He had a hole in his colon the size of a cutlet.
It's not us cooking the food.
No,
I was
it's
just
not.
Curious because I like schnitzels. I love
do.
a good schnitzel. The one over at the Munich house is.
Oh man, yes, I know.
The one with the egg and the anchovy on it.
Yeah, that's good
That's
too.
That's
man.
a really good one.
Yeah.
Speaking of food, I got a chance finally to go down to Ryan's Deli.
It's good, isn't it?
In Vernon yesterday. Yeah. Oh wow!
Did you just like you say, all right, kids, let's hop in the car. We're driving all the way to Huntington to Vernon.
I met a friend down there to have like a late lunch, early dinner kind of thing.
Okay.
And I had never been there before, and I figured, let's go there.
What'd you get?
I got a giant roast beef sandwich.
Oh yeah.
Listen, man, there ain't nothing like a good Jewish deli. Like authentic with the fresh rye bread seeded.
Oh,
I like the seeded the fennel seeds in there, and the roast beef. Here's the thing: anybody can make a sandwich. There's 2 different things. This is in my view of what needs to be like a perfect sandwich.
Right.
You have to have not only good quality meat, which this was like an oven roasted type of roast beef. You ever go to get to a grocery store and get roast beef, but it's not really roast beef? It's kind of like
a silvery type of thing.
Yeah,
it's not good.
Roast rhymes with beef.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
I do. I do.
Yeah.
Did you ever go up to the North Shore?
See,
all right.
Yeah.
The roast. If you go to like the North Shore of Massachusetts, above Boston, and you ask for they got the roast beef sandwiches.
Yeah.
You get the roast beef 3 ways.
Yeah.
You ever had one of those?
No.
It has been like decades since I've had one, and I've been spending more time like in the North Shore area, and every time I drive past one of these places, I'm like, God, I really want to go back. I really want to go in there. I want to have like a roast beef 3-way. So it's just like, damn it. It's like, why am I?
You want a 3-way with a roast beef?
Well, but it's like a big giant wad of roast beef. You got the cheese on it, right? And then you get the mayo, and then there's the barbecue sauce on top of that. Oh, Jesus! I hope my recollections live up, to the reality of it. Because when I say it's probably been more than 30 years since I've had a roast beef sandwich like that. And it's so stinking good.
I've seen roast beef 5 ways. It was called The View. Did you ever order the Rosie O'Donnell?
No, I never have. I once got the Joy Behar and had to send it back because it was foul.
Oh!
Pow!
That was the one. That was the roast beef with the rainbow scales on it. That's the one. That's the kind of one I'm talking about from the supermarket. That's like a low quality processed meat. Yeah. Whatever that thing is. You get like a good boar's head or something like. I don't know what they're serving down at Rhines, but it's fresh roast beef.
And you can tell. You can
of course
totally
you can tell. You can smell it. You can see it.
Just the texture of it. You know, when roast beef that's sliced is too smooth.
Yeah.
Like the side of it is like too. That's not right. It should have some texture to it, a little bit of bite to it.
Yeah, a little bit of
little bit. Shouldn't be tough. Should have a little bit of bite to it.
But I don't know when I'm going to go back there again. But I definitely want to try. I was thinking like I really want to. It's almost 7:00.
Right, we're busy here.
But I want to try that like gefilte fish. I've never had that before.
It's all right. Yeah.
Is it?
And
then there's a slice of something. What was this? I can't remember the other thing. It was like a slice of kind of white fish.
Like a herring.
Yeah, actually, they have the herring in the sour cream.
Or the smoked fish.
Smoked fish. It was smoked fish, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
But they have the herring in the sour cream.
Oh, that's
good.
That
seems like something I would try there as well.
Yeah.
But like authentically.
See, but I like a good pastrami. Like a good pastrami that's been roasting for like days. That's delicious.
Here's the problem. I love a good Reuben. Mm-hmm. But I can't eat like that. I could only eat half of this sandwich, and that was too much.
Yeah.
I'm getting older, Baxy. The portions are just too large.
These portions give me the win.
Oh, I'm going to have meals for days.
I sure hope I don't get the piles in the car.
Yeah, the old fat me, who was 71 pounds heavier, would have eaten the entire thing. And
you would have ordered a double.
And it would have felt like garbage for 3 days after eating it. But I got to tell you, I can't wait to go back there. Try not only a Reuben, but they have like a good breakfast menu, it looks like down there.
We need to head out there one of these days.
There you go.
701 at Rock 102.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch, brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, your grilling destination. Weber, Big Green Egg, Uni Pizza Ovens, and Traeger wood-fired grills.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, I don't know if you were aware of this, but there is a set of rules that govern this nation's interstate highway system. And among these rules include following posted speed limits. You see, these rules, or laws as they call them, have been imposed to maintain a certain safe driving experience for motorists of all kinds. Sure, not everybody likes driving 65 miles an hour down a highway, especially if you got someplace to be. But the signs are there to remind everybody that these roads belong to everybody and not just you. On Saturday morning at approximately 2 a.m., Cleveland Browns defensive end Myles Garrett was cited for driving 100 miles an hour in a 60-mile-an-hour zone. He was not arrested, nor will he have to appear in court. All he's got to do is pay a $250 fine. Now, you might say, Baxy, while it is true that traveling in excess of the posted speed limit by 40 miles an hour is a citable moving violation, these things happen all the time. So, what's the big whoop? Well, good question, and under most circumstances, I would be asking the same question, despite his obvious disregard for the law. However, this incident is coming just 3 years after Myles Garrett was involved in a single-car crash in which he was traveling 65 in a 40-mile-an-hour zone, the result of which caused the vehicle to overturn, leaving him with injuries to his arm and shoulder. But that's hardly the end of it, because according to reports, Myles Garrett has also been tagged by police in excessive speeding 7 times since 2022. Folks, if any one of us had 8 moving violations and were involved in a single car crash which was due to excessive speed, your insurance company would make it financially impossible for you to insure a car. But of course, we're in the first year of a 4-year contract worth $160 million, of which $123 million is fully guaranteed. But I suppose squabbling over the points on your insurance is probably a thing of the past. Of course, that shouldn't stop the state of Ohio from revoking your license, since I do believe he qualifies to have it suspended, just like it would for everybody else who doesn't play for the Cleveland Browns. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. There's one name in wood stain that stands apart from all the others. Cabot Stains has been around for 140 years. Your great-grandfather might have used that stuff or bought a gallon or two of Cabot Stain. And you can pick up a gallon or two yourself at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 7:14 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be a mix of sun and clouds today. Very hot and humid with a high of 91. Tomorrow, thunderstorms with a high of 89. It's 63 right now in downtown Springfield. Are you ready for another round of Am I the A-Hole?
Yes.
All right.
Now I'm ready.
Uh-huh.
Took me a second, but now I'm ready.
All right. We got a little, somebody had a little accident in their bed.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Am I the a-hole? My boyfriend peed in the bed and is mad at me for my response. Okay.
Well, what happened?
My boyfriend, 27 male, and I, 23 female, just moved into a new house and bought a new mattress. Last night, I woke up to a wet feeling under my arm and hand. My boyfriend was already up in the bathroom. When he came back, I asked him if he spilled something in the bed or knew why it was wet. He told me that he thinks he peed the bed. I asked him again, and he said, "Wait, are you serious?" And he said, "I think I peed in my dream and peed in real life." We're both half awake at this point, and I'm just surprised that he actually did wet the bed. I asked him to go grab some stuff to clean it up, and he told me it was fine. I asked him what he meant by that, and he grabbed a towel and laid it on the wet spot and got back into bed and went to sleep. We're men.
What's the problem?
I'll cover it up.
It's absorbent.
It's mine.
I'm not having you sleep in the spot.
Right. So I pulled the covers off him and told him he needs to go grab some stuff to clean it up because I don't want it to get stained. It's a new mattress, and we don't have a mattress cover for it yet. He told me it was fine. I'm overreacting. That statement naturally pissed me off.
All right.
That means two things.
Right.
And I told him I'm not going to sleep in his urine, and that's not fair to me. He told me he'd clean it in the morning and that it's not a big deal and doesn't warrant the reaction I have. That was not the solution I wanted, so I took all the sheets off the bed and threw them at him and told him to sleep on the couch, but don't pee on that either. Ooh. No, I said that.
Okay.
It was very irritating to hear him tell me that I'm overreacting because I asked him to clean up his pee in the bed that we were both sleeping in. He then knocked on the door 10 minutes later asking for a new blanket because the one I gave him smelled like urine. So am I the a-hole for overreacting to my boyfriend not cleaning up the pee in the bed right away? I don't think you're overreacting. I think that's a perfectly reasonable response to go clean it up.
Yeah, I mean, he should have cleaned it up properly right from the very giddy up.
But he's acting like it's no big deal. It sounds like he's done this before, and if you were going to get a new mattress, knowing that you had a previous history of maybe this happening once in a while.
You get one of them vinyl covers.
Yeah, you get the Sleep Number sells the impervious sleep cover.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah, they do.
Aren't they kind of expensive?
Yes, but can you really afford another restless night's sleep?
Well,
urine-free?
I suppose you bring up a good point.
Yeah, I don't think she's the a-hole here.
Listen, it's not the... I'm sure the guy didn't do it intentionally. It's not his fault, but I mean,
but you got to take some accountability here and clean
absolutely.
it up.
That was going to be my point. It's like you soiled it. You got to take care of it. You can't just lie in it all night long. That's not the way things go in life.
Somebody said, not the a-hole, and get the pee remover used for dogs because soap and water will not do the trick.
That's true.
Well, right, because they say it on the side of the bottle there. You got to do the enzymes in there.
Mm-hmm.
So, he's
that's not good.
A waterproof mattress cover is truly worth a ton of gold sometimes. you should have a mattress cover anyway, because even through sheets, regardless of urine or whatever, your body sheds skin all day long, and eventually that builds up on the mattress if you don't have a mattress protector underneath it. I
think they should start seeing other people.
You think so?
Yeah, they're probably
at
that point.
This day and age with the rent being so high as it is.
That may be true, Steve, but I mean, do you really want to be dating someone who's going to be soiling the bed and not picking up after themselves?
No. How about this one? You ready?
I'm ready.
Am I the a-hole for telling my daughter her much older boyfriend isn't welcome in our home? My 48 female and my husband, 46 male, and I have a 20-year-old daughter, Ellie, who is currently on vacation from college. About 5 months ago, Ellie told us she had a new boyfriend, who I'll call Tom. This came rather out of the blue, as Ellie hasn't mentioned seeing anyone or that she was dating anyone, but both my husband and I were supportive and happy for her. However, Ellie was strangely secretive about the whole situation. Usually she's an open book, especially with me, and would always share details of her personal life. On this occasion, she wouldn't show any pictures, and we knew no information about Tom other than they had met at a party through a mutual friend. Ellie's spent the past month on her vacation in College Town, and the plan was for her always to come back this weekend. Ellie asked if she could bring Tom with her for a few days of the trip, as they were getting serious, and she wanted him to meet us. Although we mentioned that we knew barely anything about him, Ellie expressed that it would be a surprise and that we'd love him. Given he's clearly an important part of our daughter's life, we agreed and said we'd look forward to spending the weekend together. Yesterday morning, we went to pick up Ellie and Tom from the airport to drive them to our place, and we were shocked. We knew instantly that Tom was much older than Ellie, and he certainly wasn't a college student. I was just in a state of surprise, but I didn't want to cause a scene, and I told my husband to do the same. We drove home, but it was a frosty journey, which Ellie commented on. When we arrived, my husband point-blank asked Tom how old he was, and Tom said he was 44. I was immediately disgusted. Wow. He's only 2 years younger than my husband and old enough to be Ellie's father. My husband continued to interrogate him, asking how they met and the whole background. Ellie explained that it was at a party and Tom was there because he's well known around the town, and they realized they had a lot in common and hit it off from there. I didn't really want to hear anymore, and I told my husband Tom to leave. Ellie shouted and said how unfair this was, and we hadn't given Tom a chance that he made her happy. Tom could sense the tension, so left, and Ellie followed behind him. I texted Ellie to tell her we'd love to see her and to come over to discuss the situation. She asked if Tom was welcome, and I said he wasn't. Therefore, after leaving me a judgmental a-hole, she told me that she wasn't coming and they would be staying at a local hotel catching up with friends. I feel terrible about the whole situation and don't want to lose my daughter over it. My husband isn't budging and says he'd have to be held back if he ever saw that man again. So am I the a-hole for saying he isn't welcome, or have I done the right thing?
How old is the daughter again?
She's 20.
He's 44. First of all, she is an adult. Okay, so but follow me here. If you're 44, what in God's name do you have in common with a 20-year-old girl?
Nothing, and there's only one thing that you are going after.
Exactly my point.
A 20-year-old.
I mean, listen, if she were 30 and he was, 54, okay? Even at that age gap, you wonder what do they get to talk about?
He's not even following the whole rule. Somebody mentioned this yesterday. I don't even know what we were talking about.
It's like half your age
plus 7.
Seven.
It's called pedo math.
Yeah, right.
And, but it's like half your age plus 7. And somebody said that on the Route 10 Tire listener line. I'm like, yeah, but that only works to a certain age. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just kind of
half my age plus 7 would be like 36,
right?
And I would
that
find
would feel weird.
Yeah, even for me, I would think,
yeah,
I don't have that much in common with a 36-year-old.
Half your age plus 7.
I know.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife and I are like 10 years apart. I've said this before. It's like, we get along great. It's a great relationship. We're very, very happy. But there are occasions when
there's a disconnect.
I really come off like a 59-year-old man. And there's just no getting around it.
But that's to be expected,
Of course.
I think.
Of course. There's certain references that she won't get, and there's certain references that she may have that I don't get. But we're within the right age frame.
I bet you most of your time together is spent time explaining the joke. Like whatever joke either one of you comes up with.
Yeah, no.
It's like, well, you see, honey, back in the 70s, we had these things called landlines.
You see, a rotary phone is what we used to do to dial people on the phone.
Yeah. And
you put your finger in the hole and you turn it a little bit.
You turn it, and it made this sound like. She's explaining dial-up AOL to you. See, I want it the other way around. I want to be half someone's age plus 7.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I want to date like an 84-year-old, somebody who somebody you can take out to a
someone who's feeble, but still passable.
Somebody who wants dinner at 3:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah, someone who wants to be in bed by 6.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Well, there you go.
All right, and there you go. That's Am I the A-hole?
It's 7:25 at Rock 102.
Hi,
It's 7:28 with Bax and Nagle at Rock 102.
Liam's got the forecast for you.
Hey, real quick, as you may have heard me talk about before, Thomas Walsh, from formerly of the band Pugwash, is coming to Vanished Valley on October 3rd. Raspberries Records is bringing him into town. This is a guy who is maybe one of the best songwriters of his generation, and Raspberries is presenting them on the 3rd at Vanished Valley. Tickets are available at both Raspberries locations in Ludlow and in East Longmeadow. There's also an Eventbrite page that's been set up. If you don't know the music of Pugwash or Thomas Walsh, do yourself a favor. You will thank me later. The guy is absolutely sensational. And tickets are limited, but you want to get on them right away. So good luck getting them. Again, Thomas Walsh at Vanished Valley, October 3rd from Raspberries on Rock 102.
There you go. Somebody wrote in on the Route 10 Tire listener line about age gap relationships.
Yes.
This is a woman. When I was 61, I dated a guy who was 44. So I met the criteria, half my age plus 7, but I was much more uncomfortable with the age difference than he was.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I think there are some dudes that love a more mature woman.
All you gotta do is stock up on Sanka and Sweet and Lows.
Is this Fred? Fred, it's me. It's Donorrhea. Listen, last night was a wild night, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to start seeing other people. People more my age. Somewhere between 70 and dead.
I will love. Oh, I love that's my sleep number too. Whatever that is. Now put your keys on the Davenport before you leave the house. The what? The Davenport. Good times, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
we got news next to Rock 102.
Here's your Western Mass News.
33 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102. It's time for news brought to you by the Westfield River Brewing. Get tickets for August 16th for the Breakers with special guest the Eagles Experience. This is local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. State police are in search of a suspect in connection with a high-speed chase on I-91 South that ended in the West Springfield area. State police spokesman Tim McGurk said troopers tried to stop a driver around 7:30 p.m. on Sunday, but they sped off, leading police on a chase hitting more than 100 miles per hour. That's fast.
That's a little speedy.
McGurk says police eventually used stop sticks to stop the car, blowing a tire and causing the vehicle to strike a police cruiser. 2 people ran from the vehicle and 1 was caught, but the driver escaped. McGurk says they searched the area for the suspect but never found them. And that's the end of the story. 22 News is like Paul Harvey that never finishes the story.
Page 2.
And that is the rest of the story.
You know, I'm going to go way out on a limb here.
Yeah.
If the cops can stop you when your car is going 100 miles an hour, it is almost a certainty that they also have the ability to catch up with you if you're running.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
That's true.
I'm just saying, if you're going 100 miles an hour, you might as well just kept on going or found an alternate route away from the stop sticks. But running away from the vehicle is no way to elude police.
Yeah, Fred Flintstone ran with the vehicle. You know, you do it.
Had his feet
Flintstone
right in the
style.
ground.
You just cut a hole right in the floorboard. When you run out of gas, you can just start walking that car like Fred Flintstone did. I mean, that guy must have had calluses on his feet.
Hey, Fred, the cops are coming.
Hey, Fred, look at those corns you got up there. How'd you get all those corns? Well, Bud, I've been walking around with this cow all day. You know, Fred, if you get the Dr. Scholl's and you put it on there, it'll fall right off after a day. I kind of like the corn, Bud.
But Fred, it wore right through your compression socks.
Well, the copper, Bud, that's the thing that can poison you. It's known to the state of California to cause cancer.
Yeah.
A Massachusetts psychiatrist was sentenced last week in Boston federal court for illegally prescribing controlled substances. Wow, that sounds like he might be a little nuts.
Maybe.
Charging documents stated that 69-year-old Mohammed Ak was licensed psychiatrist who owned and operated Island Counseling Center in Worcester. Ak has has practiced psychiatry in other locations in the state, including Nantucket, during which time he was authorized to prescribe Schedule 2 through 4 controlled substances to patients. Investigators discovered that Ak had repeatedly prescribed a combination of benzodiazepines and stimulants to individuals outside of the typical professional practice and not for legitimate medical reasons. Between August 6, 2016 and February 2017, Ak issued prescriptions for Adderall and Xanax to undercover federal agents.
Oh,
man.
Boy,
You know, if you
they seem to have problems, too.
if you can't trust your buyer of drugs, whom can you trust?
I mean, you just never know who seems to have real anxiety or not.
The medications were distributed to the agents by Ak without proper psychiatric examinations, acquisition or review of medical records, or administration of diagnostic tests. Ak did also not review or discuss the prescription's benefits, side effects, or symptoms of the patient's conditions and symptoms, despite writing in medical records that he had. Evidence during Ak's trial demonstrated that amphetamines such as Adderall have a high abuse potential and can present serious cardiovascular risk and can be dangerous when mixed with a depressant such as Xanax.
You know what this reminds me of? Remember back in, like during the opioid crisis, the early parts of it, there are all these reports of doctors.
Yeah.
That's all they do. They just wrote out, OxyContin, prescriptions, whether you needed it or not. You just showed up to the clinic and boom, you got it. You have to prove any reason for it or whatever. This kind of sounds like that. It's like, normally a psychiatrist wouldn't prescribe these things unless you were seeing them or under the care of a psychiatrist or some other mental health professional. They wouldn't just hand these things out because of exactly what you're talking about, because of the risk of abuse.
Well, that whole OxyContin thing is kind of a different beast, though, too, because those were incentives that were allowed
Yes, absolutely.
by the drug companies, and nobody stopped them from doing it.
In fact, they were actually, in some ways, encouraged to do it.
Well, remember that whole 60 Minutes piece about all those because those families started suing the drug companies for settlements, and those were like cash incentives that were going all the way down the line.
Well,
from the hospitals to the doctors to
the cash incentives are one thing. The problem with all of that is that they were selling those under the guise that they were not addictive. Yeah. That was the whole point of it, and they knew that was wrong. I mean, the pharmaceutical company knew that was false, and did it anyway. And these doctors who could see patients, lining up who clearly were addicted, some of these doctors were prescribing it regardless of all that and just saw the money coming in.
Which is why you have a heroin epidemic now in this
exactly,
country. Because
exactly
when
right.
you run out of OxyContins, The next step is doing it yourself and going to get unclean drugs.
It's a mess.
Inmates in Hampden County Jail will be featured in a new A&E series called Family Lockup.
A family that's incarcerated together stays together. That's always been my case.
For the past 18 months, the Hampden County Sheriff's Office has been working with a production company tied to A&E Networks. The series follows family members of repeat offenders as they spend 48 hours in custody living just like inmates. The family members are taken inside prison walls to help their loved ones mend broken bonds and reduce recidivism. Research from the Department of Justice Bureau and Justice Statistics shows that nationally, approximately 43% of individuals were rearrested at least once during their first year of release. To help mend broken bonds and reduce recidivism of inmates in the Ludlow jail, family members are taken inside as part of the correctional facility's rehabilitation. At the end of the 2.5 days, they were grateful, said Hampden County Sheriff Nick Kochi. I think they saw a whole other level of understanding of what happens behind the faculty fences and walls. But more importantly, I think they have a newfound respect for what their loved one is going through. It's not easy being in jail.
Now, in most cases, when you watch a television show, nobody wants to see a repeat.
Right.
This show is really all about the repeat.
Is it?
These are repeat offenders. They keep going back in. They're in, they're out, they're in, they're out.
Well, how many stories can you do without repeating yourself? I mean, how many times can we play a song here without having to repeat it 3 times a day?
I get it. I understand that.
This year, Emerging Adult Reentry Initiative awarded the Hampden County Sheriff's Office $1.3 million to provide support to those leaving incarceration. The money provides a collaborative reentry program with the Mission, Inc. to reduce recidivism and improve outcomes among young people age 18 to 25 transitioning from incarceration. In addition to the Hampden County Sheriff's reentry programs, Mass Hire Holyoke received a $750,000 grant to sponsor the Western Mass Core program to launch an initiative, Unlocking Pathways. It's designed to help those to obtain an education and get a second chance. Now, during the show, 10 families of inmates will decide if they will cut ties or stay in their lives as they help break the cycle of incarceration.
Now, do you have the opportunity to phone a friend?
There has to be some money being exchanged here. I don't. What is the purpose of having a television show to watch other people go in there and treat it like it's a circus of some sort?
Well, I think a lot of it has to. I mean, obviously, it's a television program, so yeah, I'm sure there is some money, in exchange. But more importantly, I think what the sheriff is trying to do is show, that there are things that they can do, which, to his credit, have been very successful. The reentry programs, the hiring programs that they do. There's lots of companies and employers around the area that are involved in this. It's actually a really great program to kind of demystify, to kind of humanize a little bit what's going on. I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing.
The programs are not a bad thing. I'm talking about the exploitation of taking advantage of people who don't have a lot of money to begin with. So when they say, they're probably taking the lowest offer.
You couldn't be a part of this unless you signed waivers and agreed to be videoed.
But how many people really pay attention to what they're signing and what they're giving away when they do this? And what's the low ball number? Because, TV shows don't pay jack squat, even for, we've known people who have tried out for TV shows that they don't pay anything, or they pay a very minimal fee.
Listen, I don't know what the arrangement is here, but I think, from the sheriff's perspective, I think there are benefits for everybody involved.
But I'm not denying that. I'm just talking about this particular aspect of exploiting people by saying, hey, you know what? Look at these people locked up. Nah, watch it for your entertainment on TV.
See, again, though, I don't think the purpose of this is to exploit anybody. I mean,
but you have to come up with. You can't. These stories,
you're not doing something against their will. I mean, that would be the definition of exploitation.
You're not doing something against their will. I'm talking about the reason why they're doing this. A&E's obviously making money by selling this TV show to people.
Right.
And you know as well as I do that these reality shows that they have, there's definitely some embellishment there along the way.
There may be, but you know what? If other jurisdictions around the country see what they're doing at the Henry County House of Correction as far as reentry programs go, then maybe these kinds of programs get established in other parts of the country.
They do. They go on trips. They go travel across the country to go visit places to see how things work.
But the sheriff's department here is more progressive than others around the country. And you know what? There are many employers that will see these, that may see these shows and say, hey, you know what? We'd love to get involved in something like this.
The trailer for Family Lockup featuring the Hampden County Sheriff's Office was released on Tuesday. Hampden County Sheriff Nick Kochi said inmates without any family support are more likely to return to jail. Family members in the trailer could be heard trying to rebuild their relationship with their loved ones, stating the following. This is why I'm in this jumpsuit in this building with you. This is my last chance with you. Addiction doesn't go away. I can't take this. The Sheriff's Department said they got to watch one episode so far and are looking forward to the release. As while watching, you don't always know if the inmate and the family member will be able to rebuild their relationship again. It's kind of like The Bachelor.
Sure.
Or Dancing with the Stars.
Right.
Dancing behind the bars.
Oh, I like that. Yes.
Yeah.
Some of those guys can really dance.
Do you think you pair them up with celebrity thing? You can get Mayor Dom in there.
That would be great to be a judge.
Because you got the friction. Like, let's say there's a dirt bike rider in there.
Yeah.
Right? And then, he's locked up for running dirt bikes. And then Dom comes in there and starts, he's going to be his dancing partner for the season.
And then you could have like district court judges as the actual judges of the dancing competition.
The very judges that put these people in incarceration to begin with. You can do it that way.
It's a wonder why the sheriff hasn't contacted you for some ideas.
And Sheriff Kochi, for his part, at the end, he wins the entire contest because he nails that dirty dancing scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. Absolutely.
Nobody puts baby in solitary confinement. I do. I think we could make it. We could make a full show.
Yeah,
we could
maybe,
make a whole thing. I got plenty of ideas.
Yeah, no, I'm sure he would embrace every one of them.
Yeah. What about the singing contest? There's got to be and then you have people, be in the critical. Who would be the Simon Cowell of this area? That would be Greg Bigda would be the Simon Cowell of the.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure
you're not funny. I'm going to put you away for 20 years if you pull that song again.
Yeah, he's the one to dish out great advice.
Yeah. Anybody see my keys? Where's my keys? Your Pioneer Valley forecast today is going to be mostly sunny with some clouds mixed in there. Hot, hazy, and humid with a high of 91. Tomorrow, thunderstorms with a high of 89. It is 66 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah. Hey, it's
just about 7:51 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
I just gave you the forecast. It's going to be hot today.
Great show coming to 52 Sumner this Friday. The Blood Brothers, featuring Mike Zito and Albert Castiglia, along with Peter Newland from Fat, Radio X, and Scott Morawski from Max Creek. They're all going to be there on Friday. Tickets are available now at the 52sumner.com or through Eventbrite. And we happen to have a pair of tickets to give away right now. 10th caller, 293-1021. Good luck to you.
Well, now we're way early for it, and I'm not in a position to answer the phones. We still got at least 5 minutes here.
All right. Well, then let me just say that Peter Newland of Fat, a local music legend, is going to be a part of the show. Max Creek, listen, that's been around for a while. That'll be a great show.
All right.
Great show.
Here, I'll fill
52 Sumner in Springfield on Sumner Avenue.
You can try calling now, but I'm not going to answer the phone until I'm well off the air, because that's how I roll around here.
Be that way, Steve. If people got to be patient, then that's just the way it's going to have to be.
How about this guy? A 51-year-old man in Tennessee named DeCarlo Pitchford. That sounds like a very Tennessee name, doesn't it?
Sounds fake.
Shot his wife last month. Now, there aren't a lot of details on what was happening, but the wife told police he was blocking her from leaving the home. When she tried to get past him, DiCarlo shot her in the abdomen and said, "I told you to stop playing with me." She needed medical attention, so he drove her to the hospital. But he took his time, and he even stopped for a beer along the way.
Yeah.
He was charged with second-degree attempted murder, domestic assault, and felon in possession of a firearm. There's no word on the wife's condition, but she's been cooperating with the police, so she survived the attack at least.
But he stopped to go have a beer.
Well, when in Rome or Tennessee or wherever you're from.
I mean, he was probably under a lot of stress.
Yeah, I'm sure he was.
He just shot his wife. I mean, she's sitting in the car bleeding to death. But, I mean, hey, let's talk about some of my needs here for a second.
Yeah, she's there screaming in the passenger seat. "Oh, my God, I don't think I'm going to live." Will you please keep it down to a low roar?
Yeah, I'm trying to drink a beer here.
Yeah, I need to. You know what? I'm stopping at one of those. I wonder if they have those brew-through things like they have in. You imagine that? You're pulling into a brew-through? And, they have them in North Carolina.
Yeah, they're awesome.
You drive right into the little kiosk, and the guy goes and gets you whatever you want. And they even have snacks and stuff, too. How would you feel if you were the clerk at that one?
Yeah.
Whoa, is that woman shot? Yeah. Can you just get me a 12-pack of Keystone?
And a Slim Jim for the little lady?
Yeah, how about, Slim Jim and some salt and vinegar potato chips. It's her time.
Yeah. By the way, do you have any napkins, maybe?
Yeah.
Paper towels we could use?
Chocolate bars, huh? Poise pads, please, anything.
She's going to need to keep her strength.
Yeah.
There's dishes stacking up at the house.
Yeah.
Anyway, the Blood Brothers are going to be at 52 Sumner this Friday, along with Peter Newland from Fat Radio X and Scott Morosky from Max Creek, 10th caller right now.
Now we're way early still. We're way early. It's only 7:54. Last hour, we were over the hour.
Well, okay, but it's okay to be a minute or two early. I mean, it's just like it's.
Is it really?
Sure,
though?
it is.
Well, you got enough time to fill for the next segment?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's sports, there's view from the couch, there's weather. I got to do a commercial for Cluets. I mean, there's a lot going on.
You want me to tell another joke?
We don't have time for that.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
That would put us way over the hour.
Positive we don't have time.
All right. Now you can call.
10th caller, 293-1021. The Blood Brothers coming to 52 Sumner along with Peter Newland of Fat Radio X and Scott Morosky from Max Creek. A hell of a show coming to Springfield right there on Sumner Avenue on Friday night.
It's not even 7:55 yet. I thought we talked long enough that would kill the minute.
Almost.
All right, wait a minute.
Like,
we got to go off when it says 7:55.
It is 7:55.
There
Bax
you
and
go.
Nagle
Yeah,
Rock 102.
Rock 1.
And now, Bax's View from the Couch, brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware, your grilling destination. Weber, Big Green Egg, Uni Pizza Ovens, and Traeger wood-fired grills.
Hey, good morning, sports fans. How the heck are you? Folks, it is my deepest hope that when and if the WNBA's Connecticut sun peels itself away from the comforting arms of the breathtaking landscapes of Uncasville and transports itself to the inviting confines of the city of Boston, that we, as sports fans, heed this advice. No matter how deeply you feel enticed to do so, no matter how much fun it might seem, no matter how hilarious you might perceive it to be, can we all please refrain from throwing dildos onto the basketball court? I know it's tempting, just since everybody else is doing it, but I believe these things have gotten out of hand, and frankly, it's stupid. Yesterday, police in New York asked for help in identifying a young man who they believe is responsible for throwing a sex toy out on the court during a game between the WNBA's New York Liberty and the Dallas Wings on Friday night. During yesterday's press conference, the police produced a picture of the suspect, and in this picture, the man can be seen wearing a Beavis and Butthead t-shirt and an Ohio State Buckeyes baseball cap on his head. This young man is accused of attempting to hurl this rubber protuberance towards the court. However, due to a lack of arm speed and accuracy, the dildo failed to reach the court. That means two things. Instead, the sex toy landed on a 12-year-old girl who was sitting in the stands. A 12-year-old girl who had much better seats until she was hit in the leg with this airborne projectile. Now, I know what you're saying. You're saying, figures, it's an Ohio State fan. A Beavis and Butthead t-shirt I can understand, but the Buckeyes, practically a dead giveaway. Either way, I hope they catch this rat bastard just like they did in Atlanta, Phoenix, Chicago, and Los Angeles. This This is why I say that when the Suns come to Boston, let's try to do things a little differently by leaving our sex toys at home where they belong. I'd much rather hurl insults and ridicule than a $50 sex toy. At least the insults are free. And it's something that we as Boston sports fans already do and do very well. But waste a perfectly good dildo? That's not how I was brought up. But hey, enough of my yapping. Sports brought to you by Rocky's Ace Hardware. Hey, you need a garden hose, pruners, fertilizer? Rocky's have got all that stuff. They're like a garden center. Spreaders and sprayers and wheelbarrows and weed killers. Yeah, it's a hardware store, but sometimes it's a garden center too at your neighborhood Rocky's Ace Hardware. I'm Bax. That's my view from the couch.
Rock 102.
Rock 102, Springfield's classic rock. It's 8:10. And Aerosmith with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Gonna be hot, hazy, and humid again today with a high of 91. Tomorrow, the thunderstorms, high of 89. It is 68 right now in downtown Springfield.
Steve, do you remember when Dr. Sadie Allison, America's pleasure coach, would send us sex toys once a year?
Yeah,
me too. It's like Christmas in the middle of February.
Oh, yeah.
And anyway, for whatever reason, she didn't do that last year, and I felt a little bit disappointed because the big box was not going to be arriving this year. And I don't know if she's sending them this year either, but I can tell you this. Anytime that we have received free sex toys, it has never passed my mind to go to the Mass Mutual Center and start chucking dildos at the tip-off classic to interrupt the basketball game with dildos.
That's just the tip-off classic.
Well, be that as it may, Steve, it's just never been something that I would be compelled to do. Mm-hmm. And recently there has been this trend in cities all across America to start throwing dildos during WNBA games. This has happened in New York, Atlanta, Phoenix, Chicago, in Los Angeles, just in the last month. Now, there is a cryptocurrency company that is claiming responsibility for this. Their feeling is between the $40 dildo and the $140 ticket, it's worth its weight in gold as far as promotion goes. This latest incident in New York, police yesterday were asking for people's help in identifying this young man who was responsible for throwing a sex toy attempting to throw a sex toy onto the court during the WNBA's New York Liberty Dallas Wings game Friday night. Instead, it wound up hitting a 12-year-old girl in the leg. Now, it's always fun until someone loses an eye. But if you're the parent of a 12-year-old kid and someone in the cheap seats is chucking a dildo and it hits your kid,
yeah,
I got to tell you, I would not, as a parent, be particularly thrilled with this situation. In fact, I might even be infuriated by the fact that this guy was allowed to come into a WNBA game with a sex toy. I'm of the belief sex toys are things that should be left either in the car or at home.
Well, where'd you smuggle it in? How'd you smuggle it in?
Well, you see, that's the point, Steve. I don't think they are necessarily detected by the metal detectors.
Well, because they're silicone.
That's or latex or whatever materials are used to make these things. Mm-hmm. They don't search you for sex toys at say like the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. They just typically don't pat you down for sex toys. But we're at the point now where it's become such a problem in women's basketball games that we may have to start doing searches. Some of them could get personal.
Tell me more about this crypto company. Who is this? What's the name of that place? First of all, the guy, I'm reading the description of the guy at the New York game. They released a photo and a short video clip of a man wearing a Beavis and Butthead t-shirt and an Ohio State cap at the New York Liberty Dallas Wings game last week.
Now, you'd hate to think a guy would draw attention to himself that way, but apparently he has.
I see the picture of him now.
Yes.
He looks like the kind of guy that probably has a Monster Energy tattoo.
On his chest.
On his chest.
Like a real big one.
Yeah.
Right.
Or Red Bull gave me wings. I had them tattooed right on my back of my shoulder blades.
A group of crypto investors is claiming responsibility for a series of incidents where a green sex toy was tossed onto WNBA courts, adding a strange wrinkle to an already charged furor that casts a shadow over the league. The creators of the green dildo coin token, which has its own website, has yet to publicly reveal their identities, but in an interview with NBC News, one of the backers, who spoke only on the condition of anonymity, he didn't want to be identified, denied the scheme had anything to do with racism or misogyny and was instead designed to promote the meme coin community, which he said is increasingly captured by influencer cabals and other bad actors. So what you're basically getting here is an a-hole who happens to be involved in cryptocurrency and thinks that throwing dildos at basketball games is a wicked good idea.
It's hilarious, I guess, especially when kids are getting hit with them at the games.
No, I will agree that sex toys on their own, dildos in particular, are hilarious. They are funny.
Yeah, but there's
a context involved.
There's also a time and place for everything, and a WNBA game is not one. You know what you do this? You do this at one of those Athena parties. That's when you throw the dildo.
Yeah, I would.
Everybody's looking to buy a dildo. You might as well throw one up on stage. Don't hit anybody and have fun with it.
Like I wouldn't even throw a dildo at enshrinement weekend. If say, like for example, many years from now, Caitlin Clark is accepting her induction into the Basketball Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be back there in the back row, chucking a dildo at the podium. I'm not going to do that, and I don't think anybody else should either. There's enough dildos in that building to go around for everybody.
Listen, but by the way, all the dildos are outside, making sure nobody parks there illegally. Remember, I got that note on my car. I told you I got a note on my car a couple of weeks ago.
Saying what?
I met with this guy Marty. Do you know him, Marty Caproni?
Is he a short fella?
Yeah.
Hangs out in Westfield a lot.
A little
from
bit.
Chicopee.
Yeah, a little bit.
Sure.
You know that guy.
Yeah,
I think he comes in here from time to time. Anyway, him and I were going to a show together, and we meet. That's like a point to meet at.
Sure.
And I dropped my car. I left my car there in the parking lot, and then right in the empty portion of it, which is pretty much the entire thing.
Sure.
And I parked my car in the where it wouldn't be in the way, in a parking space, alone by itself.
Right.
And then it was probably maybe 20 spaces away from where the rest of the cars were parked towards the Unos and the hotel. I come back maybe 5 hours later. And there's a note on my car from the property management company telling me that you are illegally parked here, and this is a private property, and your details have been recorded, and you're going to get towed if you ever do this ever again.
This would be suggesting that they pay attention to the fact that you're there for 5 hours, and there ain't nobody that's ever found a reason to stay at the Basketball Hall of Fame for that long.
Right. They know that you're up to something when the car has been there for longer than 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Right. So I was talking to somebody, and he said what they do is they don't want it. They'll watch you on a camera. And when you park the car there, they'll know that you got into another car and took off.
Okay.
So now we've had to change our location now because they are threatening to tow the car away.
They're going to force you to go to the parking structure at MGM instead, like everybody else.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, there you go.
Pretty much. But that was the deal. So now I can't. Excuse me. I can't park there no more. And
I would think that the Basketball Hall of Fame, while parking is at a premium, what with all those extra
500 spaces they got.
Yeah, I was going to say, what were those extra tenants that they've packed into that building? That they'd be more than happy to have as many people parking in that parking lot as they can possibly squeeze in.
And that went through my mind as I'm reading this, this terror note that was left on my windshield. The threat,
right?
The existential threat of you're going to get towed. wouldn't you want people to make it look like there's people here? Like, isn't that part of an advertisement kind of thing?
I mean, when people drive by, they see an empty lot. They're probably thinking to themselves,
Place is closed.
It's either closed or what's not going on over there.
Well, they're not open today. Well, what day is it? Wednesday. But yeah, that's the kind of thing you would get. That's what I was getting at. The dildos are out there putting the sheets on the car.
I mean, obviously, there's more than our share in the basketball community. I'm just saying that, and I said this on my view from the couch, when the Connecticut Sun moves from spectacular Uncasville to Boston, which is most likely going to happen, I think as Massachusetts sports fans, we should try to rise to the occasion and not bring our sex toys with us to the garden. I just think there are better places in Boston to be using your sex toys than at a basketball game.
Of course there are, and it's Connecticut Sun, not the Connecticut blister in the sun.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Keep your tallywhackers to yourself.
Someone's going to get seriously hurt on one of these things. You step on it, you roll an ankle, someone's getting poked in the eye. I mean, this poor 12-year-old girl only got it in the leg. But let's just say, for example, that it just for whatever reason, defying logic, that someone gets impaled by one of these things.
Yeah.
Now who's laughing? The guy in the Beavis and Butthead T-shirt or the cryptocurrency guys? They're gonna be laughing at that? No, they're not.
This guy looks like a painter who would take your money but then not show up for the weekend.
No, to me, this looks like the kind of guy that this is his first day that he's been out of his grandmother's basement in months.
Well, you have to be.
Yeah, like he finally stepped aside from the Xbox because he got free tickets to a basketball game.
Where you going? I'm going out to a game, Grandma.
What are you always on my back?
Where's my dildo? Never mind, Grandma.
Probably in your dresser where it normally is, apparently, from what I understand.
The top upper left drawer of the dresser.
The one that's next to the tube socks and the bottle of Bengay that you've got in there, too.
Well, if you find it, leave it on the Davenport. You ever have a dildo on a Davenport?
I have not. I have not had that there.
Would you like one?
Not today, Steve.
All right.
Not today.
Stop bringing dildos to NBA games.
Yeah, please. Just leave them at home.
Right.
It's 8:22 on Rock 102.
Wine and
8:25 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
Liam's got the full forecast for you.
Rock 102 and the West River Brewing Company want to hook you up with a pair of season passes to see all the great shows they got coming up, like Shooting Star, Led Zeppelin, and more. Enter into rock102.com before the end of the day on August 17th. That's just 5 days away. We will choose one winner at random, and it's your chance to win season passes to all the great shows of the West River Brewing Company, part of the Classic Rock Summer on Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock.
I love our listeners. They always have some good things to chime in with.
What do they got now?
Well, I mean, we were talking about the age gap relationship thing last hour.
Yeah.
During the Am I the A-hole, the boyfriend that the daughter brings home. She's 20 years old.
He's 44.
44, and the parents are freaked out about it, which is very gross, actually. But yeah, this we're talking about what the age difference, and I said I would date somebody half. I want to be, because it's half your age plus 7 is the pedo formula that these people use to get in bed with somebody.
Yes.
But I want to be the opposite. I want to be half someone's age plus 7. So you're dating somebody who's like 80-something years old.
Sure.
All the fun you can have.
Oh, yeah.
With that. This guy writes in, "Hey, Steve, my girlfriend is 90 and I'm 78. She can see better and has no health problems, unlike my Agent Orange suffering ass. Also, before rotary phones, we had a party line, the 1950s. Isn't it so cute?
It's adorable.
When you and your wife can finish each other's prescriptions. Ooh, make sure you take the sildenafil.
I take a statin every day, every hour, just a little pinch between the cheek and gum, and I got full low cholesterol for a full day.
And I don't even have cholesterol problems.
I just take it for the fun of it.
Yeah, what about that bone joint stuff compound? I rub it on her like a saddling up a horse.
Not all those bones are brittle.
Come give me some gummies. That's when she takes her teeth out.
Yes. It's 8:27 on Rock 102. 8:30 with Bax and Nagle at Rock 102. It's time for news, and it's brought to you by Gary Rome Hyundai. Technicians get up to a $5,000 sign-in bonus right now. Learn more at GaryRomeHyundai.com/family. Local radio icon Steve Nagle.
Thanks, Bax. The Sturbridge Fire Department sharing new information about a fire they responded to in a garbage truck on Friday. Officials said the fire what's up with the for the auto salvage place in Springfield on fire? Now a garbage truck on fire on what was it? Fire Fridays?
Maybe
in Western Massachusetts.
I don't know.
Officials said the fire started when the truck compacted a lithium-ion battery, which caused a phenomenon known as thermal runaway. That's when the battery began to off-gas and produce a massive amount of heat and cause it to ignite. The fire crews said the incident was reported quickly and the fire was extinguished before it could grow. Now they're warning people to not throw out lithium-ion battery devices, but rather bring them to your local dump as hazardous material or follow the manufacturer's instructions. Or put them in a campfire.
Or toss them down a storm drain. What could possibly go wrong?
I knew a guy who had this is years ago, but it was like a brand new iPhone, and he dropped it in the fire pit.
Oh, boy.
And it
exploded
up.
Yeah.
That's a dangerous situation.
Well, first of all, I mean, all your contacts, your emails, all your social media posts.
Yeah.
That's the tough part.
Yeah, never mind the environmental damage that you just did.
Forests grow back. Getting a phone. I mean, you got to go through. First of all, if it's not insured, you got to have to pay the whole thing all over again. Then you got to make sure you can recover all your data. It's terrible.
And meanwhile, with that story, a meeting was held last night in Blandford discussing the proposal of a lithium-ion battery storage park. Oh, I love the lithium-ion battery storage park. So they got the swings. You can get yourself burned on, a little merry-go-round.
Yeah.
That could cause a fire.
That big slide to the pool of batteries.
It's like the ball pit at Chuck E. Cheese.
Exactly what I'm thinking.
Right.
We have a kid jump into a ball pit of batteries.
Come on, kids. Who wants to jump in the lithium-ion battery pit? Me. Wear your glasses before you go in there. You don't want to get acid in your face.
Yeah, that's not what we came here for, kids.
At Monday night's meeting, residents were given a detailed outline of how energy storage systems impact the community. Plans to create a facility have been in the works since 2023, when several environmental assessments taking place between then and now. Project officials reminding residents that these buildings are not hazardous or noisy and can operate in various climates. Until there's a problem.
Yeah, but it would be. I mean, it would be easy to say, wouldn't it be nice if there were like a regular kiosk you could dump these things in? But people are lazy.
Yeah, and throw them in the trash anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Those opposing this project wanting to make it clear the town already has 3 large solar fields as well as several other storage facilities. So get your batteries out of here.
I don't know, man. You gotta make it easy for people. Otherwise, we're just gonna get lazy and complacent.
This is where they all go. This is where it would be. It would be the recycling facility, from what I understand.
Yeah. Well,
but you're right. There does need to be more easier access to put these things into. But
it's like Remember when you'd bring your bottles and cans to the redemption center so you can get a couple bucks so you can go spend it inside Table and Vine?
Yeah.
I find and this is going to probably piss some people off. I find now what I do, I just throw the cans away. You know why? It's inconvenient.
Because you don't care.
I don't care anymore. Sure, there's money. I'm probably wasting money.
You're throwing money away.
I don't drink that much from cans and bottles anyway anymore, but it's like
I remember watching
inconvenient.
What is it? What's his name? The guy on HBO, John Oliver.
John Oliver, yes.
Did a whole piece about how this recycling thing is a bunch of bullshit, isn't it? it's just a money grab. Most of that stuff winds up in the landfill anyway.
Mm-hmm.
When you see those videos of like, you ever see that place in, I don't know if it's like Pakistan or India or something where it's, they got it's all these plastic bags. It's just nothing but plastic.
That's it.
That's it.
And it's not being recycled or anything.
Be. You can only recycle something so much before you start to lose it's not going to be able to hold anything together anymore.
Right.
So there's these giant like pits of plastic. It's in the ocean. The plastic's in the ocean. For all the recycling programs out there, it shouldn't be an issue, but it is because they're lying to you. They're not telling you the truth about where your stuff is going.
Well, I feel so deceived.
Well, you should. You absolutely should. Officials in Connecticut recently sent out a letter to the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency after the city of Holyoke dumped millions of gallons of rainwater and untreated sewage in just one day into the river through multiple locations.
Was that wrong?
Apparently, on July 27th, it's estimated that more than 7 million gallons of sewage and rainwater were discharged into the river. 4 days later, on July 31st, reports indicated that another 588,000 gallons were dumped into the river. August 1st, it's estimated that the city discharged more than 6.5 million gallons into the river. Connecticut state lawmakers are now calling for change due to the recent surge in sewage overflow. Representatives Devin Carney and Tammy Zichtowski submitted a letter to the regional administrator for the EPA asking for help in preventing Massachusetts and other upriver states continuing to discharge sewage and other harmful substances into the Connecticut River. Do they not do that down there?
I guess not.
The letter addressing the specific incident from Holyoke on July 27th and stated that all sewage going into the river poses serious public health, environmental, and economic impacts for the state of Connecticut. Lawmakers are now asking for the agency for real-time monitoring, investments in new infrastructure, regulatory enforcement, among other things, to combat the problem. They've turned the EPA for help in preventing Massachusetts, Vermont, and New Hampshire from dumping wastewater and other harmful substances into the Connecticut River. Is there no other town that has?
I am so confused by this whole thing. I realize that there's a system in place.
Yeah.
In which, if the water level rises to such a degree that this stuff gets just dumped in the river, that's like part of the system.
Yeah.
Which is one of the reasons why the river's been contaminated, and you're not supposed to be swimming in it, even if the part of the Ironman competition requires you to do so. But it seems to me that there has to be a better plan than this.
A poo plan. You need a poo plan.
You do an approved poo plan.
Yeah.
A properly approved poo plan for the river. Because what they're doing right now is gross.
Yeah, a 2-point plan. Number 1 and number 2.
Right.
Eliminate both of those.
I wish there was some place where we could just send our refuse. I'm going to say Connecticut.
Connecticut's a good place to play.
They're not doing anything over there.
Why don't you?
Come on, just send it to them. I'll tell you what. We'll take your WNBA team, and we will send you raw sewage in its place.
Well, you can change that sign on the highway to not only, what is it, something, what's the thing?
The basketball capital of the world?
Basketball capital of the world.
Yeah.
To sewage treatment capital of the world.
Lots of people in Connecticut wouldn't even know the difference.
That's what I'm saying. Especially down Windsor way.
Yeah. They'll never notice the difference at all.
Let's see. Following the federal government's cuts to Medicaid, one man is working with local law enforcement to give free medical supplies to the community. It's Bob the Bike Man. Bob the Bike Guy?
Mm-hmm.
Bob Charlin. You may know him as the Bob the Bike Guy, but with the recent cuts to Medicaid and veteran services, Charlin has found a new way of giving back. With all these budget cuts, people are struggling to get this equipment, Charlin said. Medical supplies, often costing tens of thousands of dollars, are provided free 7 days a week. If you call the sheriff's triage number, we get it out to you. If you need something after 5 and we're not on duty, you can call me personally, and I'll meet you at the warehouse, and you can pick it up from us. His program, in collaboration with the local sheriff's departments, stores and giveaways from everything from adult diapers to hospital beds. We have the power wheelchairs, exam tables, phlebotomy chairs. We have the custom hospital beds like, this. He's showing the example. We'll roll people back and forth so they don't get bed sores. Through the program, Charlene benefits the community before the items can even leave the warehouse.
You know, I don't need any medical supplies in my house, but I always thought a phlebotomy chair would look awful good in my rumpus room.
Yeah, you can. I have a barber chair.
Yeah?
I bought one of those. I found it at Savers for $30.
How can you beat that? Does it still have the lift on it?
Oh, it's got the lift on it.
How about the leather strap, the old-fashioned leather strap?
No, it's not one of those.
Not one of those?
It came from. I think
bad.
it came from like an old barber shop or something.
I always thought like one of them phlebotomy chairs, that big arm that swings over.
Yeah.
So you can you rest your arm while they're sucking the blood out of you.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be great to have? Like if you're watching a football game, you could put like chips and dip and maybe a couple of like a 6-pack of icy cold sodas or beer right next to you. Have it all in front of you.
Yeah.
Better than a TV tray.
You know what? I'm really glad the federal government has cut services like Medicaid and Medicare. These people have been sucking off the system for too long. And it's about time a guy like Bob the Bike Man finally got off his ass and did something for the community. I don't know if you can sense the sarcasm in that last statement.
What
but,
sarcasm?
Yeah.
I don't see any sarcasm around here.
Taking care of people on Medicaid. Really?
Now you're going to be telling me that you'll be giving away bikes for free.
Yeah. I bet you these people come November will be hungry, too, and we'll have to raise food for the open pantry and the other food banks in the area. God, when are these people going to get off their ass and do something?
The Salvation Army. Do they draft over there?
I don't know. They probably should. You got, you got Flatfoot?
You can't serve.
Can't serve
And
at the
ring the bell
Salvation Army.
outside the mall.
Yeah, what do you got? Bone spurs?
That'll prevent you from serving in the Salvation Army.
Go work at Goodwill.
Yeah, that's a good gig for you.
That's like the Salvation Air Force over there. All right.
All right, I think
I
we
am
alienated
joking. I am joking.
enough kind people in the
I'm
world.
sure there's going to be. Yeah, well, we got another kind person coming in here in a minute. These people with their community service stuff. Your Pioneer Valley forecast day is going to be sunny and hot and hazy and humid with a high of 91. Tomorrow, rainy with a high of 89. It is 71 right now in downtown Springfield. I'm Steve Nagle, and that's the news on Rock 102. Oh, yeah. Hey.
Rock 102, Springfield's Classic Rock. It's 8:49 in the Black Crows with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.
It is going to be hot and humid today with a high of 91. Tomorrow, rain showers with a high of 89. It is 71 in downtown Springfield. Is some dude with a golf tournament coming in here or something going on?
Yeah, I got that moniker
It's
from
that
somebody.
dude.
But anyway,
In the studio with us is our good friend Paul Federici. Good to see you.
good to see you.
Wait,
too.
Roger Federer is here?
No, not Roger Federer.
retired.
Paul
Christina
Federici.
Ricci's dad
No.
is here? Oh, all right, go ahead.
Anyway, the golf tournament is coming up
Yes,
this
it
year.
is.
You've been doing this for a number of years. Tell us a little bit about it.
Okay, it's our 11th tournament. But I have to start by saying, walking down, I walked by the corporate dehumidifier, which I know you have a bathroom named after you, but they should have named that after Coombs because that sucks the air out of the room too.
I love Paul Federici. I love Paul.
By the way, did you see the rooftop garden outside when you were here? No. There's
Yeah,
the
we-
weeds growing out of the gutters out the side. The maintenance guy doesn't even see that.
Well,
he
he's
just
probably
walks
sure.
right
Yeah.
by it.
There are people in the courthouse downtown who are saying, God, I wish we had their black mold problem.
Yeah. It's so much
That's
nicer
funny.
over at
That's-
45 Fisher. I'm sorry. Go
That's
ahead.
okay.
with
No.
the-
So, anyways, we have a tournament in memory of my son. My son passed away 10 years ago this past July, which is amazing that it's been 10 years because sometimes it feels like yesterday and sometimes it feels like forever. But in any event, this is our 11th tournament because we had the first one 2 months after he passed away, which is why the difference in numbers. But we have it at Franconia Golf Course, and we have a great turnout every year. And we've been giving scholarships to the high school and St. Mary's over the past 5 or 6 years. And this past year, we passed the $45,500 mark, which for our small tournament, I'm very proud of. It's got nothing to do with me. It's all the people who help put it together, and all the people who play, and all the people who sponsor. They're all just they're angels. That's what I call them when I talk about them because they're all helping the cause.
Well, I mean, it speaks a lot about the character of your son.
Yes.
And all the people, sometimes when people pass away, they become distant memories for people. But here you are, year after year, coming back with such a tremendous group of people, putting this thing on. So I think that says a lot about Dan.
And that was the idea, because we want to keep his memory alive.
Right.
And there are a lot of people who love him, and we figured put the two together and do something positive. You can sit around and mope. But what good does that do?
Right.
When it first happens, you want to crawl into a ball and just go in a corner, and
Right.
But we decided to do something positive. The first few years it was the grandchildren, and then we decided to expand it to this, and it's worked out quite well.
Because the grandchildren are about to have their children.
Oh my God, my oldest grandchild is going to be a senior in high school.
Is you really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah.
Unbelievable.
And we haven't aged a bit. These glasses around my neck are just a prop. Nothing to do with the fact I can't see. But anyways, so like I said, we do it every year, and it's a Franconia golf course, and we have wonderful people like Fazio's cater it. It's in the pavilion there, and I have too many people to name that are wonderful. But if you follow my postings on Facebook, my rantings and whatnot, you'll see some of the names, and at the end of the golf tournament, we'll list them all. But it's been great, and we have one wrinkle this year, if you don't mind me saying now.
No, go right ahead.
So through the wonders of Tudor House Liquors and my friend Hank Champagne, we're going to have a special raffle this year, and it's going to be 200 tickets at $25, and it's a 10-year bottle of Pappy Van Winkle bourbon, which, if you go online, it's anywhere from $900 to $1,200. So, if it's worth it to somebody to pay $25 for a shot at that, then
I mean, $25 for 1,000 bottle of booze.
Yeah,
$1,000 bottle of booze.
That's
That's pretty good odds.
And it's funny because Hank keeps asking me, "Do you want the bottle now?" And I said no, because it'll probably never make it to the golf tournament. So I haven't even gotten it yet.
Don't you have to hire security to bring that thing over to the golf course?
Not. I mean, it's Springfield, but I don't think it's.
Well, no, but I'm just
right
saying.
on the edge.
I'm not talking about the Springfieldians. I'm talking about the people running the golf tournament. Like, hey,
it's like when the Thunderbirds were parading around with the Calder Cup a couple years ago, and they're wearing white gloves to not damage the outside of it. You'd have to do that with a bottle of Pappy.
And it would be good to get a bottle of cheap bourbon and then get out of the car and accidentally drop it. Have everybody go, But
didn't you ever hear me tell a story about what's his name?
Michael Kittredge.
Michael Kittredge up at the Yankee Candle.
No.
My late wife used to bartend every holiday. He had a big holiday party up at his big estate up there. And he would take out these $3,000 bottles of wine and put them up on the bar. But the carafes were actually filled with Franzia or something like that, like a boxed wine. And all these rich, snobby jerks would show up and go, "Oh, look at it tastes so earthy," blah, 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 blah. And then he would bring them into another room when they were having dinner and go, "Hey, by the way, you weren't drinking this $3,000 stuff. You were drinking it. Yeah, you losers." Yeah. So you could do that with the bourbon.
Yeah, there you go. It's like before, after the tournament, everyone gets a shot of the Pappy, and it winds up being
that's what I should do. Charge $100 a glass and everybody.
No one will know. No one will know.
But anyways, I'm gonna post something on Facebook. I'm gonna have the tickets available probably starting Wednesday or Thursday. So that way, if you can't make the tournament but you want to, buy a ticket, you can do it through me online or through Venmo, or I'll have all the details. So
okay, and where can they find that?
There's my personal Facebook website, and there's a Daniel Federici Memorial Golf Tournament website, or Facebook site, not website. Yeah, I'm not sophisticated enough to have a website yet. So.
Oh, you're sophisticated enough to carry $1,000 bottle of bourbon with you.
Yeah, there you go.
I trained
Donna Michi, we appreciate the time today. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, it was not Donna.
But it's $125 per player.
Yes,
which is very reasonable for a golf tournament because you get the dinner and the lunch. Yep. And it's going to be a great day at Franconia, as it always is.
Yes, every year we hope my son comes through the weather, and so I started obsessing already. And my wife told me to stop because it is 10 days away.
How many times out of the last 11 did?
So the first year, at 5:30 in the afternoon, we had a literal monsoon, because there were people. We were standing under the canopy at Franconia, and there was one guy who was running off the practice green and sliding down to the 18th fairway because it was so wet.
Jesus.
So that was our cue of saying, if it's 5:30, you've been on the course too long, because it started at 1, so you should have been off the course. And the second year, it was raining in the morning, and it cleared up at 10:30, 11 o'clock, and we were fine. So,
perfect.
Well,
he's been taking care of us.
If you want to avoid weather problems, let's just do a midget bowling contest right down here at Shaker Bowl. You can do that to
bowling with midgets, or short people bowl?
bowling with them.
I mean, like you throw them down the alley.
Yeah.
That's
It's all voluntary. They put
and
helmets on. And,
being politically correct, like the old dwarf tossing.
yeah.
yes, that's exactly what it is.
Rain or
Yes.
shine.
How
You
did
can
we
have it
degenerate
anytime.
into
Little
this
people
conversation?
bowling.
Yeah, little
People love
bowling.
it.
Yeah,
Vertically challenged bowling.
The 11th Daniel Federici Memorial Golf Tournament is happening a week from Saturday, August 23rd at Franconia. Again, the Daniel Federici Memorial Golf Tournament Facebook page is out there. Paul Federici, great to see you.
Thank you. You guys have been behind me since day one, so I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll be back next year too.
Yes.
All right, it's awesome.
All right.
8:57 with Bax and Nagle on Rock 102.